Hello, it's the 28th of December 2024. Time for another update. So things have been getting progressively worse since July. In July, the chemo I was on stopped working, and my bile duct got blocked because a cancerous lymph node is pushing on it. So I had a stent put in the bile duct, and since then I've been doing a different chemotherapy treatment, but I've missed a lot of the cycles, or I've only done a partial cycle, or I've only done one of the two drugs because of being ill, or because the white blood cell count was too low, or I had too much kidney damage. So that chemotherapy, it's a combination treatment of Avastin, which you take as a drip, and then Lonsurf, which is tablets, and you take the tablets for 5 days, and then there's a 2-day break, and then another 5 days, then the Avastin drip again, and then 2 weeks off, and then start again. So it's a 4-week cycle. But to have that cycle, you have to have tests on the day that the cycle starts, and sometimes my white blood cell count was too low, so I couldn't do the tablets, and other times the kidney damage was too much, so I couldn't take the Avastin. So over the last few months, cancer's been growing a bit, and there's new tumour in my liver, and it seems that there's more cancer growing against the bile duct, so maybe my bile duct will get blocked again. The new cancer is above where the stent is, so either a second stent will need to be put in, or maybe the current stent will be removed and a longer one will be put in. But currently I'm not having any treatment at all because I've got into a clinical trial. This will start on the 14th of January. So I have to go on the 8th of January for a day of tests, of a CT scan, ECG, so that's electrocardiogram, so heart test, sonograph, which is an ultrasound check of the heart, a lot of blood tests, and various other tests. And if I'm healthy enough, then I'll be joining the trial on the 14th. I think the trial has been running for a few years already, maybe 3 years, and it's got a couple of years left. I think at this hospital where I'm going to be joining, it's been going for a year already. This is an immunotherapy trial, type of immunotherapy called a STING agonist. There have been STING agonist trials over the past sort of 5 or 6 years. The results have generally not been very good. It's not really a treatment that works by itself. The trial I'm doing, it's just a single treatment, so it's a monotherapy, but the idea is that maybe in a year's time or something, another drug will be added. I don't know if I would be able to stay in the trial for a year. Generally with the trials, there's like a cut-off point where patients get kicked out. So for this one, if the cancer grows by 20%, or if you get new tumours visible, then you're kicked out of the trial. So I think they'll do a CT scan every 2 months or something. So they'll say, if everything goes smoothly, I'll start on the 14th. spend the night in hospital, the next morning have the treatment itself, and then stay in hospital for 7 days of observation, have the second treatment, stay in hospital for 4 more days of observation, and go home, come back a week later, have another treatment, come back a week later, another treatment, and then I think it changes to every 2 weeks. So I think first of all it's every week for 4 treatments, and then every other week. And then after the second bunch of treatments, then there'd be another CT scan. And this is a phase 1 trial, which means it's a very early stage trial. It's designed to see if the drug is safe and to see what dose is safe. So the starting dose is very low, and then the dose slowly increases. And as the dose increases, patients are being removed from the trial because their cancer is growing, because it started on such a low dose. There's no real possibility that they would get benefit from it. It's very unlikely. So more patients are being added in. So this is why I'm able to join. My dose is starting at 100 micrograms per kilogram of body weight. I've no idea if that's a dose that could have any benefit. The starting dose was like 3 micrograms. Now, usually when you look at cancer medicines, you're talking doses of milligrams. So if I start with 100 micrograms, that's 0.1 milligrams per kilogram of body weight. And if I stay in the trial, if the cancer doesn't grow more than 20% and there's no new tumours, I can stay in the trial, and then they would increase the dose a bit, and maybe I'll be lucky and get some response where the tumours shrink or at least stay stable. Keep staying in the trial, the dose will go up and up and up. The final target dose for this is 900 micrograms, so that's 0.9 milligram per kilogram of body weight. So that's my situation. Realistically, the trial won't work for me because I think the dose is still very low. I don't know what a proper dose is of this drug. I may be able to find out. There may be some kind of estimate from animal studies or something, I don't know. Or I could look for previous trials. But I want to give it a try because if this type of immunotherapy has some longer term effect, it may mean treatments afterwards may be a bit more effective. This is an immunotherapy that stimulates the activity of dendritic cells, which is a type of white blood cell. If there's some benefit over several months, then potentially I could do some other treatment after leaving the trial and then get increased benefit from that. So that's one reason to do it. My plan at the moment, obviously, give this trial a go. I would expect to leave after the first sort of CT scan, which I think would be after 6 treatments. That'd be like 2 months because it's every week and then every other week. And then a CT scan, and they'll say cancer's grown or there's a new tumour, so you have to leave the trial. And then I'll probably try to go back to a previous chemotherapy I did, because there were chemotherapies I was doing that worked, but I had to stop because the side effects were tough. So that's a possibility. Another thing is I could have some more radiotherapy. I'm in constant pain at the moment, mild pain, but constant pain, and that's because, or it's probably because the lymph nodes where the cancer is and around the cancer are swelling up, so they're pushing on nervous tissue, and also the areas in my liver where there's a couple of tumours, there's a lot of nerve tissue there. I'm not sure why. I don't know why there's nerve tissue in the centre of your liver. So that's all causing some pain, and I could have some radiotherapy. I'm kind of reluctant to do that because the radiotherapy takes ages. This is a very mild, safe kind called tomotherapy, and you have just a little bit of a dose, and then you come back the next day and a little bit of a dose, and you keep doing this 5 days a week for kind of 5 or 6 weeks. That's called hyperfractioning, so giving your body just a very small amount of radiation each time so that the healthy cells can repair themselves. Cancer cells are very bad at repairing themselves, so hopefully they die as a result of the radiotherapy, or at least they're damaged enough that your immune system can then kill them. So that would involve going to hospital every day for 5 or 6 weeks. I don't know where the nearest hospital is that does tomotherapy, but it's probably an hour away or something. So, an hour to get there, and then an hour for the treatment and whatever administration at the hospital, an hour to get back. So, yeah, it's a lot compared to once every 2 weeks going for half a day to do your chemo or whatever. Yeah, so that's about it really on the cancer front. Reason I haven't done any videos recently is because I'm just struggling with the pain. I tried taking various painkillers for the pain. I was given one that was relatively effective called Tramadol, which is an opioid. It's in the same family as morphine and that kind of thing. But the side effects are very tough. It's one that gives you a lot of mental side effects, and so that caused a lot of problem with sleeping, with hallucinations and strange dreams and night sweats and that kind of thing. And also it interferes with like the regulation of various body processes like your heart and stuff, so you'll sort of suddenly get really rapid heartbeat, which is quite scary. And it causes nausea as well. And then I was given an anti-nausea drug that's actually for treating like schizophrenia, and that has quite strong side effects as well. Yeah, so at the moment I've been trying all these different drugs, but they all come with various side effects, and it's difficult to find a drug or combination of drugs that deals with the pain but allows me to have a reasonable quality of life. So at the moment I'm not taking anything, although last few nights I've had to take a strong sleeping pill that allows me to sleep through the night, because before, from the tramadol, I was sort of not going to sleep until like 6 in the morning, and then having short periods of sleep, maybe 20 to 30 minutes, waking up in a cold sweat, and like repeating that cycle. with the sleeping pill I can sleep through the night, but yeah, when you wake up it feels like you haven't had any sleep, and it causes a lot of fatigue during the daytime as well. Another big problem at the moment is eating. Lonsurf causes me a lot of appetite suppression, so it makes me not feel hungry, but also changes the taste and the feeling in your mouth, and the pain also causes appetite suppression. So yeah, eating has been difficult. I haven't had a lot of motivation to eat. Yeah, so just trying to eat what I can when I can, really. Yeah, I guess that's it, really. So I'll do another update. If I join the trial as scheduled on the 14th, then I'll do an update probably just when I get out of hospital. So it's 11 nights in hospital, out on the 25th of January. Maybe do an update end of January. It's very likely that my bile duct is going to get blocked and I'll have to have surgery to replace the stent or put in another stent, and that would delay me getting in a trial by another week or two. So yeah, that's possible, but anyway, I'll try and make more videos soon. And yeah, as always, if you can post questions, that's really helpful, because your questions are always interesting, thought-provoking. So yeah, please ask some questions and I will answer them. And please share the donation link if you can. Okay, thanks a lot.